What is happening, fishers? And welcome to Throwback Thursday. So this evening, I decided to get home last week and look through my reel cupboard. And I came across my Daiwa Millionaire, guys. A lot of guys out there should know it, especially if you're a very light tackle fisherman with a lot of estuary fishing or light tackle inshore. Okay, so very old reel, quick breakdown on the Daiwa Millionaire. They were first made in Japan in the late 1970s. The first model came out. Daiwa saw that Abu Garcia were doing really well with their round profile bait casting or round profile reels. So they brought the first Daiwa Millionaire out in 1983, I think. I might be mistaken. They launched 3 models and then they faded off the market quite quickly. Then back in 1998, Daiwa decided, listen, we're going to give the Daiwa Millionaire range another punch, and this is pretty much where this one comes from. 1998, they launched a size 3 and a size 4. This is a size 4. The size 3s and size 4 got no bearings in them. They got bushes. Still works beautifully though. Very easy reel to maintain. And then the size 5 and 6 came with bearings. The reels are still available today. They're a lot more updated than they are now, but they've still kept the basic principle of a basic well-made reel, well-made round reel.
Yeah,
they still got 2 bearings. They just got some updated, newer bearings and things like that. So they still are available today.
Yeah, my early experience with the Daiwa Millionaire, my mate who lived across the road from me, schoolmate, and his dad used to only get out his Daiwa Millionaires when the shade were on the run in the harbour.
Correct.
Sometimes the break wall, but normally in the harbour. There by
the blocks.
The part where the hot water came out was the favourite spot.
Correct, yes, yeah.
And occasionally by your grain elevators.
Correct, yeah.
And he had the gold ones.
Yes.
Didn't have
those were the fancier ones.
Didn't have the special
Yeah, I've got like
touch them, dude.
I've got the entry level, the boyki.
Couldn't touch them. And I think they were. It's actually quite interesting to see a millionaire. I know you want to be a millionaire.
Yeah.
We all want to be millionaires now, not Zimbabwean ones. It's interesting. It says high speed.
Yeah.
It says a quality product of Daiwa, mark of precision, high speed. And that's it. It doesn't tell you what the ratio is.
So your high speed.
It doesn't tell you how many meters of line it holds.
Your high speed version is about 5.2 to 1, which is not very high speed actually, if you think about it. Okay. And then they had their normal speed. The other had like a little
H 4 to 1 or something like that.
I think it's 3.8 to 1 if I'm not mistaken, guys. I might be mistaken if I can remember correctly. But for normal reels, it's pretty much. When I did a lot of estuary fishing growing up, so that's pretty much where I learned to fish. And it was definitely in the 80s, in the early 90s, well, not the 90s, sorry, the 90s and the early 2000s, definitely the reel you had to have.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
My experience, I went to my first paycheck, my very first paycheck, working at Border Plumbing Supplies, just out of the army. I bought myself a Abu, I think it was a 5-star.
Oh, nice.
And it wasn't too bad in those. It was like $500-600 bucks. They probably ended up being like $1.5 grand before they were discontinued, but very much the same thing.
Yeah.
What is cool about these ones as well, I'm sure Daiwa pretty much cloned
100%.
And basically you had these 3 little screws that
you could
held your whole body
together,
click, pop out, quickly service and that. They had the level 1 mechanism.
That lasted only so long.
And how was the casting on these? Has this one got little plastic grommets to help you cast?
This one does got the plastic grommets to help you cast, yes, yeah.
So basically a very early thing that is developed from these reels to minimize backlash and bunches and that when casting lures into the wind. So these are kind of were the forerunners of the modern bait casting bass type reel.
Low profile bait casters,
you know, so certainly exceptional little reels. Tell us some pros and cons though. What do you
okay, guys,
you haven't fished with it too much, I can see it's
no, this one. Listen, I've got 2 others that I pretty much wore out over the years.
Okay.
Cons, as Don mentioned earlier, if you put too many hours in this reel, your line, what you lay or side your line level would end up sticking to the level winder would end up, you'd get it, it'd stay there for about 3 or 4 turns and then go back again. So, but that was the easy solution. You just take it off and get rid of it.
Yeah, I found on my Abu, there's actually like a spiral worm and there's like a half moon pin that goes into that.
Yeah, used to wear out.
And sand used to hate that thing.
Yeah, this wasn't.
And they also restricted your lighter lures. You couldn't cast.
Yeah, you couldn't cast as far.
So, and they were easy casting reels anyhow. So and they're so narrow, we didn't leave the level 1. So a lot of us just took them off.
And then obviously it doesn't get into gear that quickly, guys. It is a reel he's about 25 years old now. So like I've engaged into free spool. It's almost like not instantaneous. Like your new reels, you'll be there and you'd be
Actually, that's something you can talk about.
Yeah.
You know, a modern...
It's instant.
A modern... no, it's not,
Yeah.
A modern pen, Daiwa, Shimano.
Yeah.
Got a lever.
No, I'm talking about, so I was referring to the bait casters.
So, you know, okay, bait casters.
Yes,
I hate bait casters because my thumb's too big.
And you can't get in a little
And I can't
slotty.
get in a little slotty at all.
You can't use that size 100, you get 200
and
or something.
I end up breaking on the side of my thumb, which really bugs me. But what I liked about these, though, they had that mechanism which literally you pressed into quick, stop the reel quite easily, and then I first turn the handle, you're on again. So that's easier than a little click on the side. We use these things for saltwater fishing. They were not used, and these are very much the go-to for throwing rapalas for cob in the early days.
Yes, yeah.
We didn't use grinders for cob.
No, we didn't. Well, our grinders weren't good enough quality those days.
You bent the shaft too quickly.
That was the thing. So like, the reason why I pretty much used this was a lot of live bait fishing the river, and then when it came to, we didn't fish circle hooks in those days. You wanted, when the cob picked or the Larry picked your live bait up, you wanted to run a good couple of meters before to eat before setting the hook. So that's why round or overhand reel worked best, because obviously.
Did yours have a ratchet?
No, this one doesn't. So the 3 and 4.
Mine did.
So my 4,
didn't work very well, but I mean, it did.
5,000 or 6,000, whatever you want to call it, the 5 and 6 did have the ratchet on, so you could actually hear it going, and then you could click into gear and actually end up hitting your fish. Where, unfortunately, in those years, bait running spinning reels there were 1 or 2 around, but they were horrible. And so these are the reels that we did use.
And they lasted, eh?
No, this one
is a quality product that lasted for years and years.
This one hasn't fished too hard, but I've got the others that still are sort of fishable after 30 years. You know what I mean? They fished hard.
But even the die-hard light cycle boat guys got 10, 20 years out of them.
Yes.
Every weekend.
On a recent trip out to sea, there was still one of the guys still using one of these to this day with 4 kg line. Doesn't have the best drag system in the world. Actually, the older models.
Actually, this thing we can talk about. Like, the cool thing about these is if you got into a big fish, anything above like about 3 kilo.
This is your drag.
You can turn the handle a lot, but no line can
come back.
So if you got a big cob, you needed a rod with a bit of backbone so you could
pull and reel in it.
You crank him back in like that. But the cool thing about them, they're very rudimentary drag system, but they were smooth.
Yeah, no, very smooth.
They had no inertia on the take-up.
You could fish light line comfortably on them.
Had to be felt drag in those days, I'm sure.
No, it's still 100% felt drag in this. The new ones have got carbon washers.
But certainly smooth on the drag.
Yeah.
And the fact that you couldn't crank, actually, like you see, I can't crank. And typically meant that beginners and a lot of guys on the boat with 4 kilo in that weren't smashing their line.
Yes.
Or trying to bully a big fish too hard.
Correct.
So they were ideal for the boat environment. To so large degree still are.
No, they still are. I've actually been looking online to see if I can get it, because there's not a lot of round, unless you're buying an Abu, which are quite expensive.
Abu's gone, eh?
They're gone too now.
Abu, the round reels are pretty much discontinued.
It's very difficult to find reels. Like there's 1 or 2 online. And if you're a collector and you have one, okay, this one's in a good condition. I've seen some that are in immaculate condition.
I'm not even sure.
These things are going for.
Is the Millionaire still current? I haven't seen a new one.
In the States, you can get them. They've still got them listed online. Locally, I'm not sure. I don't think so.
I remember seeing new ones about 2-3 years back.
That's the last time I've seen them either. So I know if you are a collector, some of the guys are asking crazy amounts of money for some of the museum pieces, I call them. You know, reels in immaculate condition.
But you know, like it's a kind of reel as well. You could probably pick up a fairly good condition one.
Well, there's I saw some in the pawn shop, $600.
For next to nothing, and there wasn't much to go wrong in these things.
They were pretty
much
so easy to fix. Yeah,
bulletproof.
The worst comes to worst, you replace 2 bushings on them.
I was mocking Dean. He says, 9 kg line.
9.1 kilo.
No, we used to fish 15 pound, dude.
Yeah.
7 kilo max. So this is like rope.
Yeah, we catch big cob there.
But you obviously never threw lures with the thing.
No. So this was pretty much used for bait fishing. And then, I don't know if you know Hamburg, a little place called Lion Bay. To the right of Hamburg.
Where they launch the boats?
No. Hamburg. So Hamburg mouth, probably 2 km to the right.
Past the car park?
Past the park to the right.
The next bay?
The next bay,
yeah.
So we used to fish.
The shallow one?
Yeah, so we used to fish with our little Conlon, I think they were 7-foot rods. We used to fish with the surf with this. That's why we got a bit of thicker line. We used to get stuffed up most of the time, but
I got you.
We used to go scratching for blacktails and hook things that weren't blacktails.
And
we used to like now and again get 1 or 2 of the fish out.
Yeah, no,
so got a little silver out on this now and again.
But I think a lot of the anglers, this was the go-to river.
Yes,
and harbour reel.
No, 100%.
Inshore reel. Durban Harbour loves these things.
Oh, no, beautiful reels, yeah.
And I'm going to throw Abu and Daiwa in the same pot there, I'm afraid. So, but awesome little reel.
Yeah.
If you want to get rid of it, like drop it my way. I mean, I'll find a home for it.
Yeah, I'm sure you will.
It still gets used.
This is these things gonna get used hard. October's around the corner. We're gonna change the line out, guys. This line is at least I'm not lying. This line is tight.
It feels like some kingfisher rope that you got on there.
It is some
dude.
kingfisher rope that I've got on here. So
Yeah,
we're gonna change this out. This line probably hasn't been fished
9
for.
kg is probably 0.45 if I know you.
Yeah, 0.45.
Not 0.4.
You know the story. So we're gonna change it out for some. We're gonna update the line on this, but mono because I like fishing mono for my cob in the rivers for live bait. I'm a fan of mono for that.
You know the funny thing is I'm divulging a little bit here.
Yeah.
But I've got a little reel that I fish in the rivers as well. It's not as small as this. A little wider. It's actually an old TLD10.
Oh, nice little reel that, yeah.
And it's a lever drag and it holds about 300 meters of 10 kg line. And I've pulled some big fish in that reel. The lever drag certainly helps the crank.
Yeah.
And it's pretty light.
Yeah.
And it's got the ratchet. And it costs a mile, but you can't ever not going for your guards.
Yeah.
And it can't cost anything too light.
Yeah.
Because there's no speed control. There's no knobby on the side to slow down at all.
So this is going to be my boat reel for this summer, guys. Andrew's lucky enough. He's getting my Daiwa Firewolf. It's also about 20 years old, but never been used.
So are you going to teach him how to fish in the rivers, though?
Yeah, we're going to teach him. We're going to.
Because you guys should be doing it at the moment. You're moaning the sea's too big.
No, we're going to go. There's still a bit of work to do on the boat and things like that. So we need to get everything up to speed.
The shore's good, man.
No. We're going to go fishing for boat on. I'm old now. I've got no time to walk in the mud. I want to sit on my bum on a chair with a deck chair with a nice cool drink in my hand.
My ass gets too sore on the boat.
No. So
I get too cramped.
Andrew's getting the Firewolf, which is pretty much very similar to the more updated.
My wife's got a Firewolf.
Nice little reel. I've never used that one I've got.
The only thing I had is the handle bent.
Oh, is it?
I straightened it a few times, but it's actually used to cast a bomb. Man.
Yeah.
Very lightweight, very cheap.
Yeah.
But survived, and she caught some good blues up to like 2-3 kilo on that thing. It's survived some good fish.
And that one's got, I think, 15-pound maximum, so it'll be more in your story. I picked it up for a song of a pensioner that never used it, bought it years ago, sat in a box.
I think also sadly discontinued now.
Yeah.
But a nice little line of reels. Ours is a slightly wider one, though. I think it's like a 30 or something like that, I'm not sure.
Okay, cool, guys. Well, anyway, thanks for joining us for having a look at the little Daiwa Millionaire. I'm sure we'll find something exciting next week.
I think I'd love to hear your guys' stories about
what fish you have caught.
We're talking about our uamis here, our uncles, our grandpas that fish these reels a lot, because the millionaires in the 80s were the prestige little reel.
Oh yes, 100%. And I had to have one to be a fisherman.
I'm sure you guys have got some stories, and if you've got some stories, gladly comment and let us know.
While we've got
see if you can wind me in. Wait. See if you can wind me in. Let's try.
Okay. So while we're playing nonsense buggers,
bull.
No, not too much of a big fish. While we're playing nonsense buggers, a quick story. So imagine it's 2 o'clock in the morning. You and your mate are sitting on the boat, falling asleep.
Drag loose, so it runs.
No, you hear 1 ratchet go, 2 ratchets go. You wake up, 4 rods in the back of the boat, all Daiwa Millionaires. All rods buckled over. 2 guys, 4 fish. Ended up anyway. You've never seen a cob fishing go down to 1 rod, 1 guy so quickly.
Yeah, that happens in Hamburg sometimes.
Knotted up, 4 lines knotted up. I think we fought all 4 fish with 1 rod to get them out at the end of the day. Anyway, guys, thanks for joining us this week on Throwback Thursday. Until next week, we're going to go climb into my cupboard again and see what else we can pull out.
Yeah,
there's some more exciting stuff to come.
I'm actually quite keen to look at some vintage rods as well.
I've got some of those we can do.
Some vintage rods could be quite fun.
We've done 3 reels in a row, so maybe we'll do something.
But we're looking for a video of you actually catching something on this stuff.
It'll come.
Okay,
October. It'll definitely come. No, we're going to put this on. You won't have the bright yellow line. We'll have maybe whatever color line. Whoever wants to give me some line, I'll put whatever color line they want.
Orange might go lacquer though from modern spinner.
Yeah, I can see it. So
yeah, sure.
Okay, cool, guys. Anyway, until next week, Thursday, thanks for joining us. We'll see you all soon. Cheers.